guys, it is me, Klarissica, here on Klarissicasays, where Klarissica says it all, and that is how I feel. Guys, thank you so much for joining my channel today. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Make sure you also go ahead and leave a comment on today's video about this topic or anything that you feel in your heart that needs to be said. So first and foremost, I want to make sure that you guys understand that this is my sole opinion. This is my opinion. Again, we are on Klarissica Says, where Klarissica says it all, and that is how I feel. So these are my thoughts, and this is how I feel. On my channel, we talk about gossip, trending topics, beauty, hair, lifestyle, exercising, basically a little bit of everything, upliftment, advice, everything you could think of under the sun besides gaming, which I talked about but have not made a specific video about yet, but I will be getting into that too. This is just an all-around involved channel. So welcome if you're new. I appreciate you having you here. I appreciate you having you here. I appreciate you, and I welcome you, and I thank you, and I appreciate you for being here. Yeah, let's get that. I appreciate you for being on my channel today. I can't speak today. It's okay. However, guys, I've been a little stressed. Not to say a lot stressed, but I've been just a little stressed today. It's been a lot of videos that have came my way today about the George Floyd situation. RIP George Floyd. Did I know the man personally? No, I did not. But do I believe that we are all one? Yes. No matter the race, we are all one. And in this case, there was some foul play done to one of my brothers, uncles, whatever you want to call the man, one of my family members. And it has made me a little stressed today, because first off, what happened to him was not necessary. I seen the video. There are 9-minute videos going out, there's 10-minute videos out, there's 13, 14, 15-minute videos. There's videos of the whole situation, was much of the situation that can be publicized with the videos that people have gotten from the restaurant and from the people that were out on the road recording, and of course the aftermath videos. And today, I'm not getting there yet, but today there have been some aftermath as well, with them going into a Target in Minneapolis, in the whole plaza, and like destroying the area. And I'm going to address everything, but like I said, number one, I want to address the foul play. So yes, okay, they say allegedly that George Floyd was resisting arrest. Now, in the very beginning of one of the videos I saw, which I did post on my channel, so there's a card right there if you want to check it out, but check it out at the end of the video, please. It shows the cops arresting him or trying to pull him out of his car, and him not wanting to get out of the car. However, George does get out of the car. There's not a fight, because a lot of seen videos where people are pulling men and women out of the car because the man or woman is fighting, not trying to come out. Yes, I saw George's hand kind of stay on the car door, but once the cop actually had a grip on George, you know, got out the car. He was kind of a big man, so he got out the car. He used his legs and he got out of the car. Okay. So within 30 minutes or 30 seconds, sorry, within 30 seconds of the video I show you guys, he was already in handcuffs. So, you know, the whole situation of the whole video, for over 8 minutes, 9 minutes, 10 minutes, this man was in handcuffs. That alone to me screams foul play. He was already in handcuffs. So now you're trying to maneuver him over to your truck or the other vehicles, cop cars, and you go in front of this restaurant. So we see the footage in front of this restaurant. I think it was a restaurant or a store, but we see the footage from this location, and we see him, he's talking. Just because someone speaks does not mean that you can consider that as, you know, resisting arrest. The First Amendment right is the right to speak. And I feel like a lot of these cops get so big-headed that when someone is speaking, and people as well that think they're in power, when someone is speaking up against the actions that they want, they see that as retaliation. And sometimes people just want to explain what's going on. Maybe sometimes they want you to explain to them what's going on. But a lot of times people are big-headed and going through the motions and feel like they're doing something. Like when someone talks back, it's retaliation. It's resisting arrest. The dude was just talking, you know, he was just talking to the guy when on the camera that I saw, that I told you, I showed you the video. He was just talking, saying like what's going on, why it's going on, trying to explain himself. Most likely not, of course. Who wants to go to jail? Who wants to get arrested? He was trying to get his way out of being arrested in the first place, to be honest. Yes, that's what you see. His last thoughts, last 10-15 minutes were trying to plead for him not to basically be arrested, for him to plead a, you know, what's the problem basically. So you see him going from there, from that camera, by that restaurant, whatever location it was, to then the next footage being by this man cop car. I do not understand how it goes from this man being arrested with the cop holding him by his arms with his cuffs, to this man being now on the floor. I don't understand. I don't see a back door open. All I see is a front door, but I don't see any. First of all, I don't see any doors. I don't understand. This man George was on the floor. Okay, so if somebody is on the ground and they're telling you, I cannot breathe, I cannot breathe, I cannot breathe, mind you, I already mentioned the video was like 8, 9, 10 minutes, right? I cannot breathe, man, I can't feel my arms, I can't breathe, you're on my neck, can you please stop, please, begging. There should be a limit of a moment of care. There should be a moment of thoughtfulness. There should be a moment of, even if you're a selfish person, there should be a moment of, okay, what can happen if this goes the wrong way? Whatever you guys want to call it. And that's number one. Let's just talk about that. Number one, the cop heard this man pleading for him to get off of his jugular vein, off of his neck, cutting off of his circulation, his pathway of breathing, and he did not let up on his grip with his knee. No, he pushed his knee in this man's neck harder, which you can see in the video. That's number one. Let's start there, right? So this man is pleading and you decide to push harder. What satisfaction do you get by hurting somebody? The cops are supposed to protect and serve. Now, mind you, there has been, of course, a good 40 years plus years from the 60s, because we're in 2000, a good 40, 60 years since the 60s, but 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, yeah, 60 years has passed since the 60s. But the drama that people think that the back in the day used to be is nowhere near the drama that we have now. That's a fact. The issues that we have that are different from then to now is that back then it was, I'm the police force, I'm here to protect and serve. Yes, there was foul play, but at the same time, we as a community held our own. We didn't want cops in our business. We didn't want cops around us. We didn't want cops dealing with our stuff. We handle ourselves. We didn't call cops to the scene. Cops were not trying to come to those scenes with us. We handle our own business. And the cops respected the fact that, okay, we're going to live in this little piece of harmony. Nowadays, these cops are on this high horse that is like, we're cops and what we say go. What people do in the community, we don't care. We're going to do whatever we want to do, and we're gonna see you people however we see you people. And there's a lot of prejudiceness that didn't exist in the past. It does exist now more so than you would think in the past. But there's a lot of prejudiceness that happen now because of situations like this. George Floyd did not have to be dead. George Floyd did not have to die the way he died. And the retaliation, which is the second thing, let's go ahead and talk about that, which is my point of me talking about the 60s to now. The retaliation that we are seeing right now happen in these black communities and in locations around black communities and in other locations, it just screams that a lot of people of of color, melanated people that are doing this do not understand politics. It's one thing to protest, it's one thing to react, but the way you react and the way you send your message across is the most important thing. And the way that we are going about sending this message of showing our retaliation, which we should, for George Floyd, is not correct. We should not, if you're going to do it to the right place. You should not be messing up your own community. You should be in their communities messing things up. And I'm not condoning or pushing violence. And even a disclaimer, I'm not saying anybody should be violent, but I'm saying if you're going to do things, do it correctly. You should be at City Hall. You should be at the precincts, which is like the courts, of course. The places where the cops, work, the police departments. You should be doing things, the precincts, like on that road, in those areas, around those places where now is proving a point. And even then, maybe even do like a protest, a silent protest. Sometimes silence kills. Sometimes silence is the best way to express violence. Sometimes just not speaking, or just not shopping, or just not cooperating in certain ways that are non-violent is the best way to do things to get your point across. But when we go and destroy and blow up objects and break up stuff, it's like, oh yeah, look at those heathens, look at those savages. See, that's the reason why they have this prejudgment on our race. Is it right? No, don't get me wrong, it's not right whatsoever. But situations like George Floyd happens because of situations like what we are doing right now in the retaliation of George Floyd. So it's kind of like we are doing what we need to do to retaliate, to show reverence to this man that shouldn't have died. But at the same time, we're not getting anywhere politically because of the way we're retaliating. And yes, we need to understand this, because this world is about politics. You can only do so much and change so much without politics. We could say all the time for years on end that we want to be integrated, that blacks and whites or other races should be all one in America. But until they signed laws politically saying that we're going to integrate schools, that we're going to integrate restaurants, we're going to integrate stores and make you not have to walk in the back of the bus, all this extra crap, then it didn't make. And of course, in some areas they were already integrated, living integrated. Segregation didn't exist in some areas, but of course in a lot of areas in America it did. And again, this video will probably get to other places like Europe, Africa, and I see my content get other places, but this is a little history lesson for those that are overseas. Like, guys, this stuff really did happen in America, and there was a such thing called integration, segregation, and there was a such thing called discrimination that's still prolonged in people's minds. And when they see things like this about the retaliation to George, they go back to thinking, well, this is why we think about black people, why they always acting crazy, why we always prejudge, oh, they always are the heathen, they always are the ones that are reacting, always the one that hood, ghetto, whatever you want to call us. But even though they're the ones that push us to get to that point. Not to say they're wrong, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying we're wrong. What I'm saying is, if we're going to push a message, we have to get to the point where we can push the right message in the right way. We have to get to the point where we can retaliate in a way that truly hurts them. Not because in a way we are hurting them, in the way that we're doing it, yes, we are hurting them momentarily, but when it comes back to it, we are hurting ourselves more than we are the people we're trying to go against. I need you guys to understand that. I need you guys to understand that. I really do. I need us as a community to understand that there's a way to go about doing things. Okay? And no, I'm an in-between person. I know some people be like, oh, well, she's a Martin Luther King person or she's a Malcolm X. I'm in the middle. Okay? I'm what's right was right, what's wrong was wrong, but you gotta find a way to retaliate in a way where you can have silence and you can have quote unquote violence or retaliation, and it actually makes a point and not come back to bite us in the end. Because then what's the point of doing it in the first place? Yes, you got your anger out, but then what? 3 days later, 2 days later, the next day you wake up and it's like, okay, now what? Now they have this concept of us. Now we gotta go back and fix that burnt up Target, or they stealing our mattresses. Now look at these heathens. Look at these savages stealing mattresses. Like, it's that kind of stuff that we gotta understand, that no matter what we do, even in the situation where we are in the right to retaliate, you will be looked at for being in the wrong if you do not make the right steps. And it's just the truth about it. It's sad, but it's true. We have to get to the point where we are looked at as a different type. The prejudgment of our race, of being hood, ratchet, angry, ghetto, heathenly like, and savage, all that extra crap that they have prejudged for us, we have to debunk that reality and debunk that prejudgment, so therefore this kind of stuff doesn't happen. Because I'm pretty sure George Floyd wouldn't have happened if that cop didn't have a prejudgment on the black race. Because I don't see any videos of that of other races. Y'all show me, and I don't want this video to go wayward, so let's not do that, but show me. I don't see that kind of stuff happen to the other races that be out there. It's always our race that's publicized. Why is that? Does stuff like this happen to other races? I'm sure. Does it happen to the point that someone dies? No, because we would hear about it. So why does it get to that point? What strength do you get to go over a black person to the point that they can die? I don't get it. I'm really confused. Let me know. And then the only retaliation, the third thing that bothers me, let's talk about, let's chat. The third thing is, okay, the four people that were involved, 4 cops are involved. The one that was on the neck, the other 3 of them around, the Chinese men, the other 2, right? The Chinese man made me mad because he was the closest one to the man that had his knee on the man's neck, and he just sitting there looking so stupid. What the why? I just don't understand. And some people were like, well, why didn't cameraman jump in? Why didn't this and this and that? Because, man, they don't know what can happen. They don't know they're going to pull their gun out. They're so quick to shoot us. He doesn't know they're going to pull the gun out and shoot him for trying to get that cop off of him. Now he's involved in the crap that he shouldn't have been involved in the first week. Anyway, what was the reason for them stopping? I want to know, what was the reason for them stopping them in the first place? Let me know. I'm just lost right about now. But go back to the point. You got 4 people standing around, and the only retaliation we have so far is that they're getting fired. And I'm a little stressed, guys, like I said. So excuse me when my words get jumbled up, because I'm just a tad bit not all the way there right now, So the only retaliation is they get fired. The guy that actually killed George Floyd isn't going to be charged for murder. He's going to be charged for manslaughter, which is only up to, I think, 20 years. 20 years, and that means the max. And the only reason why, or way he'll get more, is if he gets, piled on with other charges, which probably won't happen. The other 3 will probably get their jobs back. Yep, most likely not. Maybe 2 of them will get their jobs back, but most likely the other 3 will get their jobs back. They're probably suspended for 3 days, maybe a month, and then back to work on the hush hush, right? In the awesome world that we have, we would like for them all to get charged, because just like any other situation that happens with any other race, I'm considering my race, my melanated race, as another race, by the way, if you guys didn't catch that sarcasm. If somebody is around people doing bad, like this situation, if this was another case, if these were people weren't cops, right, and there were 4 boys, black boys, melanated African American boys, that ended up killing a white male by putting the white male on the floor with the knee, would that male, black male, get just manslaughter, or would he get murder, first degree? It would be because he had intent, right? The three people around him that were with him watching the black male, the hypothetical black male killing this white male, would they just get back to work, or would they be held as an accomplice? They'll be held as an accomplice. They will be going to jail too. So it's two things. One is racist. Another thing is cops. Because I'm not saying in this case that in this hypothetical situation that these are cops. But even if in this hypothetical situation that these black people that I'm referring to were cops, I still don't believe they'll be held the same way or charged the same way as these four cops were. I personally don't. If it was the other way around, where there's four cops, one, let me say one was black, the one with the knee, the other one was, instead of being Chinese, he was, I don't know, Indian of color, someone of color. The other one was from Africa, so he's from Egypt. Another one was from Lebanon or something, or Spanish. It would not be the same. It would not be the same reality. It just wouldn't. Let's not be fake to ourselves. It wouldn't be the same. And it's sick to say, but it's true. So with that being said, I just feel as though it's time for a change, guys. It's all around. We all have to change our perception on each other. We have to change our perception from white, black, Indian, race. This whole racial crap needs to end. In order for us to come together and move forward as a society, as a race, as a human race, as the human race, this whole concept of race has to decease. Okay, we can have culture. I didn't say get rid of culture. Culture is amazing. But this prejudiceness on, okay, Chinese people gotta be doctors or whatever, it has to stop, okay? It has to stop. We have to start seeing each other as one, okay? So with that being said, I just want to come do this video. I want to push you guys to, if you have these prejudiced thoughts, because sometimes people do have these. I'm not one of the people that do, because I really truly in my heart believe that we are one. I don't see color, I don't see race, and it's sometimes really hard for me to do these kind of videos because I just don't think it's called for. I think there's so many other things that are happening in the world that we could be focused on as a race, and we put more energy into that. If people put more energy into that, we will be so much farther. We would have advanced so much more as an overall race than we already have, because we have so many distractions, and the biggest distraction is race and separation. So I just elevated myself to not think that way, because it's just isn't right. You understand? And it's going to take people that have been going through generations and generations and generations, especially in America. Overseas, people aren't like this. Like, a lot of people are not like this. It's here in America that's really bad, by the way. But it's going to take generations to get rid of those generations. But it starts with you, because the generations that already had this prejudice since back to 13, 15, all this other shit, 1800s and all that. Like, this is stuff that's been recycled and recycled. It's in their genetics to think certain ways. So it's time for somebody, which is 2020 then on, to have a different concept of people, of certain type of people. Just because you're different or look different does not mean that you are different than anybody else. It's just a complexion. Just because that person is different than how you look does not mean that you're different than anybody else. It's just their complexion. It's no different. It goes both ways. So I think I'm done with this video. I didn't want this video to go too long. I hope you guys made it to the end. If you did, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you taking some of your day to hear this. I feel like it's genuinely important. And yeah, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share, make sure you like this, and leave your comments down below, please and thank you. I would love to see and hear what you guys have to say. You can DM me also on my Instagram at Klarissicasays, Klarissicasays. I am going to leave some timestamps for those of you that cannot sit still, so you can go through this video a little quicker. But if you made it to this point and you're hearing me say that, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you. I will see you in my next video, and I love you guys. Peace, love, tranquilities, and blessings. Stay safe and healthy out there. And yeah, guys, R.I.P. George.